Hi, I'm Peter Kyle, the Member of Parliament for Hove and the Shadow Secretary of State for Science, Innovation and Technology. Guildford CLP has always been there for me when I needed you most joining the campaigns down there in Hove, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm truly wishing you the best in the campaigns that you have there. I know that you've got real battles with the Tories, but you've got the Lib Dems snapping away. So my advice to you is firstly a general piece of advice, and that's that usually the party that wins is the party that is most deeply rooted into the community itself and has the strongest community with residents across the constituency and the community we're trying to win in. So the temptation is when you have a really irritating, sanctimonious, pious, perhaps even self-reverential and entitled party like the Liberal Democrats snapping away, the temptation is to face them and then the two of you start to argue with each other. But in my experience, whether you're fighting the Greens in Brighton and Hove, or whether you're fighting the Lib Dems up there in mid-Bedfordshire, it is the party and our responsibility as the Labour Party to be proud of who we are, to answer to no one about our values, to face 100% the voters we want to connect with. What I learned in mid-Bedfordshire is that in key parts of the country, the Conservative vote has totally imploded. People are well informed mostly, and they know that the Tory party of today simply does not represent the British values that unite us as a whole country, from the rule of law through to respecting our institutions, to being kind, but also to be inclusive. These key values are no longer represented in the Tory party, but they are with us. With Keir Starmer's Change Labour Party, we can be proud of our values, because as the Tory party has left the field, we are there underneath with our values, ready to catch those voters when they are let loose by the Conservative Party. So your job, the job that we did in mid-Bedfordshire, the job that we've done in Hove, the job we've done right around the country in recent elections where we've done so well in, our job is to listen. It's to learn about what voters are saying locally, because there is differences in very, very local areas, sometimes within communities, not just between different communities, to listen to what the priorities are, but to also respect the choices they've made in the past. I mean, I would ask you to ask yourselves as an exercise today, what would it take to get me to vote Tory? And I bet some of you have laughed when I've said it, but then ask yourselves this, because we are asking them to do the same, to go from Tory to Labour. It's a big, big ask. Now, is shouting at them going to do it? Is hectoring them about the choices they've made in the past going to do it? Or is listening and being respectful of their choices in the past, but working really, really hard to show that our values, our policies, our people, and our politics are good enough, are respectful enough, and are going to solve the challenges faced by our country enough to earn their vote? And that's the job you've got to set about to do between now and the general election. So listen, see what the priorities are, show that our priorities are going to tackle the priorities, our policies are going to tackle the priorities that they have as a community, to be respectful in the way we have that conversation, because we're asking them to do something really, really different. And in those constituencies and those communities where we're asking people to do something so profoundly different than they've done in the past, we've got to act with humility, and we have to act differently ourselves, because you can't expect other people to do something different unless we act differently. Otherwise we'll get the same result. And usually the difference is in about tone, and it is about the way we conduct that conversation, and it's being proud of who we are, with never being arrogant and not lecturing people. So I really, truly wish you the best. The key lesson for me is that listening to Tories doesn't make you a Tory, it helps you beat them. And we are in the business of beating Tories so that we can get into government and bring about the change our country so desperately needs. Good luck with everything you're doing. I'll be there campaigning with you just as soon as I can.